Hello, YouTube. Good morning, Tube fans. Hey, if you're watching this as a replay, you can scoot ahead 10 minutes. We'll start that show 10, 11 minutes, and we'll start the regular radio broadcast of what we're going to be doing. So there you go. Until then, we're going to call Mr. Ron Ness here shortly. But yeah, so if you guys haven't known what's going on in the world of golf, probably, excuse me, throat's all goofed up here today. The North Dakota Cowboy Hall of Fame Golf Scramble. If you guys have never done this before, if you're interested, it's a pretty good time up at Bully Pulpit Golf Course, Medora, North Dakota. And it's Thursday, September 10th. Why do you have it on a Thursday? If you're on my team, it's because it takes you 4 days to recuperate to get going on Monday. It's a 4-person golf scramble, and it's a pretty good time. We have district championships. We have overall championships. Every year that I donate, myself and Jesse Flath, we donate a rifle or some type of firearm to the golf tournament to raise a little extra money. And what they've been doing is a putting contest lately for the last few years with this. And we start with a super easy short putt to get into the finals, and then they stretch it out to about 40, 50 feet on the putting course, and whoever gets closest to and or in the hole wins that rifle. This year, the rifle is a Rossi 357 mag lever action. It's a nice rifle. In fact, I wish I could know how to share that on there, but I don't. Show you a picture of it here. Well, I don't have the whole thing, but I do have part of it that's engraved. You'll be able to tell a little bit of this. There you go. There's a part of it. A little bit of it. So my goal is to try to win that putting contest this year and be able to use that rifle. I think that'd be awesome. So there you go. So we'll be talking to Rick Nelson in the second half of the show here today. We'll give an update on that. A little bit about the cowboy way of life. What's that got to do with outdoors? Quite a bit. Quite a bit. First half is going to be Mr. Ron Ness, president of the North Dakota Petroleum Council, giving us a little update what's happening on the oil side of things and how that kind of works together with the wildlife. I was up in Dagmar, Montana this week on Thursday for the auction. Anderson auction went very, very well. Nice folks. Got to see a few people that hear me on the Williston 660 Keys radio station. Thank you. Appreciate you guys coming up and saying hello. Slope County Fair weekend this weekend, today and tomorrow. Make sure to come up and support Slope County Fair. Check my levels here, levels on YouTube. Let me know, guys. YouTube levels, let me know how they sound. If I need to bump them up or turn them down a little bit, let me know. Let's give old Ron Ness a call and see how he is doing today. Thanks, Darren. Appreciate you letting me know that. Let me know when I get Ron in here, too, how his levels are going to be.
Well, good morning.
Mr. Ness, how you doing, sir?
You know, it's kind of feeling and looking like fall out there today.
50 degrees or something, was it? I can't even remember what we had down here, but
the grass changed. I was out with my dog this morning. I thought, look at the pigment of the grass. It's leaves. They're all changing. So
upland bird hunting time here. What do we got here? This dove season opens up here pretty quick.
Yeah.
Next Saturday, right? Next Friday.
Next Friday is bow season.
Yep.
I wonder if dove season isn't like almost open.
I'll check it out real quick. I know it was either this weekend or next
It
weekend.
might
I thought everything, it's like the first part of September, like everything opens up.
Yeah.
For me, anyway. Let's see here. Dove season, September 1st.
Ooh, that's right. Quick.
Yeah. It was a Tuesday.
Wow. Okay.
Or am I right on that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Tuesday and Friday for the deer season bow hunting.
And then it's go time, baby.
It is. It is go time.
I'm not ready.
I'm not as ready as I was last year for it, but it seems like this year has been dragging out longer trying to scratch up hay everywhere.
Yeah. Did you get some rains this week?
No.
Oh, man. We got half inch. Oh. It was crazy.
Yeah. Bowman got some, Stratton got a little bit of rain. And, yeah, we've been just getting kind of skirted around the outsides here, which is normal. That's kind of what we expect.
Good for hay. Yeah.
Good for harvest. Holy cow. Unbelievably, last 3 weeks of harvest in this season. I mean, it's just like there's hardly anything left. I mean, just the big farmers are left to go, I suppose.
And the beans and the corn are already drying pretty heavily after no rain here. So it's going to be a early harvest, I suspect.
Well, Slope County Fair today and tomorrow. So hopefully they can hopefully they're done and they take a break, come in and support the fair for Slope County. I have, let's see here. Got to take my sound system in today so I can do the Calcutta for the Bikini Barrel Race. And then tonight is the Calcutta for the rodeo on Sunday.
Bikini Barrel Race.
Longest running bikini barrel race in the state of North Dakota is at Slope County Fair each and every year.
You're going to have to send me a picture of that one.
It's a pretty good time.
About.
These girls usually take off about 1.5 to 2 seconds off their normal time when they do the bikini side of things. It's pretty hilarious. And it's anybody. As long as you're over the age of 18, you can enter. Guys included. You just have to have a 2-piece bikini. That's the rules, Ron. Easy as that.
That's fair.
Yeah. We're not sexist about it.
So the fair is going
as we speak. It started yesterday a little bit.
As normal, I mean.
Yeah. Well, we were going to, this year, supposedly is the 100th anniversary, the centennial of the Slope County Fair. Longest contiguous running fair in the nation. We've never taken a year off. But technically, if you do the math correctly, the first one was in 1920. So actually, I tried to explain it to him. The 100th was last year, but they didn't understand that because they go by subtracting the years instead of actually counting the years of how many fairs.
So funny, Scott, because I do the same thing. I'm like, year one was really year one.
Exactly.
Year, right?
Yes.
I've tried to do the same thing on a couple things. Yeah, I just give up. We obviously just think different. So
I guess
math different. I've always mathed a little different. So.
Common Core. That's whatever.
Yeah. Well, we had a golf tournament at Bully on Wednesday.
Okay.
Record 154 golfers.
Holy cow.
We had food, we had stuff at so many holes. People were so jacked up. Everybody had such a good time. They social distanced just fine. It was just fantastic.
Yeah. People want to get out anymore. It's like they're tired of this scare.
They absolutely do. And and so.
Well, we got let's see, just shy of 40 seconds here, so I'm going to turn you down, talk to the stations a little bit before we get going here, Ron, so stand by. Stations, 30 seconds on mark. 30-second mark right there. Let's get this set up. Get that set up. 15 seconds on mark. Morning, Karen. Thanks, Darren. Well, good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Saturday edition of Dakota Prairie Outdoors. I'm your host, Scott Bachmeyer here, and today for the next hour, And we have the opportunity to be talking anything outdoors. This week I made a trip to Dagmar, Montana. I helped out with an equipment auction up there, an estate auction. Fun to see the different country, how oil, farming, ranching, wildlife, everything, how balanced they are in that country. It's pretty cool. Truly an eye-opener for those who've never actually driven through the heart of the Bakken before. I'll be talking to Ron Ness shortly about that. But first, I tell you what, we have a lot of things going on in and around the areas, okay? Across North and South Dakota. The South Dakota EMS Association Charity Golf Tournament is today with a 10 o'clock start on that. The coming up Saturday, September 12th, is the Post 66 annual end of summer poker run. That's going to start out in, let's see, the route is Pastime and Hettinger, Wendy's and Bowman, Saloon number 3 down in Buffalo, Riva Store, KT and Bison, and Lemon Legion. So, pretty good time around there. You can get a hold of anybody in any of those bars and get going on that. Let's see, La Creek Precision Rifle Match in Martin, South Dakota is coming up September 11th through the 13th. And the 27th annual Nodak Sportsman's Club in Lincoln Sportsman's Club Fishing Derby is Saturday, September 26th. So if you want to get in on that too here. Thursday, September 3rd and Friday, September 4th, 8 p.m., the Red Wilk Construction Tough Hedeman Bull Bash is going to be going on in Huron, South Dakota. And let's see, the 91st Annual Convention and Trade Show, Roaring into the 20s, is the theme this year for the North Dakota Stockmen's Association. This is going to be October 8th through the 10th. That's at the Ramkota Hotel in Bismarck. The McKenzie County Cowboys Association will be having the 2020 NDRA Championship Finals in the rodeo this year in Watford City. And what's happening tomorrow in Amadon, North Dakota, is the last qualifying event for the NDRA rodeo, with me as your host and your MC and announcer for that rodeo. It is Slope County Fair weekend. But first, let's talk with Mr. Ron Ness, president of the North Dakota Petroleum Council. Ron, good morning.
Well, good morning, Scott. Sounds like a fair number of activities going on across western North Dakota and Montana, South Dakota.
Yeah.
And we had a golf tournament out at Bully Pulpit on Wednesday, I guess, and it was a record-setting event, and it was just, people were just so great to be out, and everybody was, distancing responsible within their own groups, and we just had a great time. It was so good to see a lot of the oil field folks from across western North Dakota and the region there, so fantastic. And you didn't mention, I think, let's see, Tuesday, September 1st, doesn't the North Dakota dove season open?
Yeah,
so it's time,
dove
Scott.
season opens up. I had my propane guy come out and fill up my summer fill here, and he's like, you guys got a lot of doves out here. And I'm like, well, they are starting to bunch up right now. And especially with this cold, I'm going to call it cold overnight low here, because it was, compared to what we've been having here the last few weeks. The doves are definitely bunching up. So I'm ready to, I haven't eaten dove in probably 2 years. So I think I'm going to go out and shoot some this year.
Well, Scott, I was out early with my dogs this morning, and the ground and the grass and everything just felt like it was bird season. So I think the 2 weekends, the grouse season will be here, and it's go time.
Now you mentioned, hold on, you mentioned the golf tournament. How many people attended? You said like 156. Was that what you said in Medora here on Wednesday?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what people don't realize, same thing for me, driving all the way through Watford and Williston over to Dagmar, Montana. The oil industry in North Dakota is still moving forward. There may not be as many drilling rigs going on or anything, but there's a lot of people in the maintenance and the everyday aspect of oil industry that has to be done, isn't there?
Well, Scott, that's exactly right. It takes literally tens of thousands of people to produce. We're probably back to 1.3 million barrels of oil a day and 3 BCF of gas a day. So despite only having 11 drilling rigs today, which, a year ago I see in the paper that we had 62 going, that's a lot of jobs, a lot of people for that, and the completion crews. But boy, when you let's see, it's about 8 o'clock this morning, so we've had 8 hours of oil. We've probably produced 400,000 barrels of oil already this morning, almost 1 BCF of gas. 15 years ago, we produced 83,000 barrels of oil a day. Now we do that darn near, in
before people wake up.
An hour.
Yeah. That's crazy.
So, and you got to put all that in pipes. You got to run all those processing facilities. You've got to move that oil. You got to keep those. Each well site out there, I think we've got almost 17,000 wells now pumping across North Dakota. Each of those wells, after it's drilled and completed, it maybe be, 20 years ago or 3 weeks ago, that's just like a business that opens up, and there are a certain number of people that have to tend to that business every day. So those are the people that you see out there. And yeah, I think you've seen it, Scott. There's a lot less traffic on Highway 85, and certainly across the Bakken region, you're seeing a lot less activity in terms of drilling rigs moving, completion crews, water transfers, all of those things going on. But this is not unlike the rest of the country right now. Until this COVID thing breaks, that's what we're going to continue to see. Is we're just going to, basically keep harvesting every day. Is what we're doing right now. We got one company that said they're going into harvest mode maybe for a year or more until they see some better economics. So they'll just harvest the wells that they have, and not drill and complete their new wells because they're under no obligation to continue drilling until they feel their economics are beneficial.
So when you say 1.3 million barrels a day just out of the North Dakota side of things, where does that oil go? Is there storage facilities some of these companies are holding them in to, like you say, harvest it and wait until the price gets better, or are we exporting a lot of this stuff too?
Well, Scott, that's a great question, and I don't think when you're producing that much oil a day, you really can't store it. It's not like you can. It's not like corn or wheat. You can pile it on the ground. So that oil today is, of course, 570,000 barrels of that oil is going to the Dakota Access Pipeline ultimately to the Louisiana Gulf Coast, and it's a good point. With that Hurricane Laura coming in, if you step back 15, 20 years ago, pre-Bakken, pre-American Shale Revolution, and we would have had a hurricane come into the Louisiana Gulf Coast, what would have happened?
Probably nothing in this area because we didn't have that connection yet.
Well, I'll tell you what would happen. Our gasoline and our diesel prices would have gone up immediately.
They would have, okay.
Because 70% of the U.S. refining capacity is in the Louisiana Gulf Coast. And all of those ships that we're bringing in, 56% of the oil from OPEC and other unfriendly worlds stop coming into the Gulf,
right.
Therefore shut the refineries down. And then, of course, the area with the greatest pull gets the barrels, right? So Chicago, the South got the barrels. So the gallons of diesel fuel and gasoline coming this way got restricted. So we were usually the first ones to feel the pinch on the price. And I remember many, many times trying to get waivers to allow bulk drivers to go and get gasoline or diesel from other terminals across the region. So little is mentioned about that, and actually the president mentioned it the other night. But having American North Dakota oil going into Louisiana Gulf Coast refiners versus ships allows them to be up and running again. So that's a significant deal. So that's almost a third, and of course that pipeline is supposed to be expanding to 1.2 million barrels a day, and then we send a bunch of our oil, of course, to the Mandan Marathon Petroleum Refinery, and other oil goes down in the Belle Fourche pipeline and towards Denver, the Wyoming refineries, and then a bunch goes across the state into Minnesota, into the Minneapolis, Wisconsin refineries via the Enbridge pipeline system.
You bet.
So,
well, hey, Ron, we're up against a break here. We'll be back more with Ron Ness, president of the North Dakota Petroleum Council, right after these messages across all the great stations in North and South Dakota. These are challenging times for our state, but the North Dakota oil and gas industry wants you to know they're coming back better than ever. The Bakken is still one of the best energy resources in the world and will be for generations to come. And through it all, the oil industry remains committed to developing our state's natural resources in harmony with our great outdoors and wildlife. This message is brought to you by the North Dakota Petroleum Council.
Dakota Community Bank and Trust provides ag loans for all stages of growth, from seed to harvest. Our expert agribusiness lending staff specializes in loans for livestock, equipment, vehicles, and operating. With our roots in agribusiness lending, you can be assured that our lending staff will provide you with prompt and reliable service. In other words, our ag loan officers will always keep your best interests in mind. Stop by your local Dakota Community Bank and Trust today. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
MoPro Guide Service, the best on Lake Oahe. Brent and his staff will give you the most enjoyable fishing experience, always having the latest in electronics, gear, and the most comfortable Lund boat on the water. Fish with somebody who lives in Mobridge, South Dakota, the heart of Lake Oahe. If you need a place to stay, the Mo Rest Motel has newly updated rooms with free internet, a family-owned and operated business. Go to OaheWalleyes.com. That's OAHE Walleyes.com for the best fishing experience Lake Oahe has to offer.
This fall, Pfeiffer's has all of your land and equipment needs covered. Join Pfeiffer's Auctioneers for the 15th annual Western Dakota Land Auction, October 20th through the 23rd, for 9 incredible land auctions with over 300 acres in Mound Trail, Dunn, Billings, Grant, Hettinger, Slope, and Perkins counties. Also, Pfeiffer's fall equipment auctions are plush with unbelievable equipment throughout the upper Midwest. Join Pfeiffer's for exceptional retirement auctions in Bowman, Steele, Hazelton, Fargo, and Gackle, North Dakota, Vergas, Minnesota, and Bison, South Dakota. Full details and online bidding is available at Pfeiffer's.com.
The North Dakota Cowboy Hall of Fame in historic Medora is open for the 2020 summer season. All safety precautions have been taken, with social distancing guidelines enforced and hand sanitizer stations in place. Come see the beautiful new displays for 2020, including the amazing bronze collection in the Hall of Honorees. Shop our wonderful gift shop with merchandise available celebrating 25 years of the North Dakota Cowboy Hall of Fame. We'd love to see you at the North Dakota Cowboy Hall of Fame in historic Medora.
Rockin' 7W has all the panels you need. Freestanding panels, windbreak panels, feeder panels, and the original protester panel. If you don't know what that is, it's a sort panel that makes sorting calves from a cow a breeze. You can do it in a fraction of time with just one person on foot or horseback. You can custom order sizes to fit your current operation, or you can start from scratch. Rockin' 7W also does trailer repair on any size trailers, mobile welding, and custom cattle hauling. Call Justin at Rockin' 7W at 701-206-1030. That's 701-206-1030. Rockin' 7W, the farmer and rancher's go-to guy. Western Frontier Insurance. Agents that understand you, your needs, and the community. Whether you're looking for coverage on your farm, ranch, home, or auto, you can trust that Western Frontier Insurance will find you a combination of price and coverage that works for you. No fancy jingles, no talking boxes or animals, just good neighbors helping to keep you covered. Western Frontier Insurance. Offices in Hazen, Washburn, and Wilton. These are challenging times for our state, but the North Dakota oil and gas industry wants you to know they're coming back better than ever. The Bakken is still one of the best energy resources in the world and will be for generations to come. And through it all, the oil industry remains committed to developing our state's natural resources in harmony with our great outdoors and wildlife. This message is brought to you by the North Dakota Petroleum Council.
Your home isn't just your biggest investment. It's where you live and where you love. Dakota Community Bank and Trust makes it easy and convenient to find the best loan program and most current rates available. Whether you were house shopping as a first-time buyer, thinking about new construction, refinancing your mortgage, or remodeling, we offer the assistance of an experienced live mortgage officer. You can find our mortgage team through bricks or clicks, in person or online, anytime at dakotacommunitybank.com. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
Didn't think that leaving would keep me this alone. This rodeo life is all I've ever known. With my life out there on that road, but don't you worry, one day I'll settle down. And when that time comes, you're still around. I hope you're still around.
Welcome back to Dakota Prairie Outdoors Saturday edition. Good to have you along here. Music from Breakin' 8. Speaking of which, one of the female lead singer, Jerry Lynn Wiseman, she's up today in the Slope County Fair, open barrel racing. So there you go. Ron Ness, President, North Dakota Petroleum Council, is my guest here. Ron, I was talking to you while we were on break here about how the rodeos have been in North and South Dakota and across the upper Midwest, because they canceled all the rodeos in the southern parts of the nation because of COVID, but not up here. And it's just been crazy. The caliber of rodeo contestants that have been up here, just phenomenal to see it. So a lot of fun. So come down to the fair, man. You should make your way down.
Scott, I hope that I think there's a lot of potential for a lot of out-of-state hunters to show up here this year too, or
I would
people
think
coming
so.
out.
Yeah. Well,
Certainly, I think a lot of North Dakotans are ready to get out and spend a lot of days in the field this year. So what a great opportunity, and I think it's going to be a good year. I had Jeb Williams on the radio a week ago, and we kind of went through the list of species and how it's going to be, and I think it's just shaping up to be a really great year. And obviously, the harvest is well ahead of schedule this year. So, you've been out west, things are really dry. So I suspect we're going to have the crops off before gun season this year. So it's going to be but it's go time, isn't it?
I think so. It's always go time. I'm ready, man. I haven't dusted off my shotgun yet. I even have a brand new shotgun that was given to me that I haven't shot a bird with yet. So we need to get that done. Got to get it done.
Well, we can take care of that, Scott. I think that there's just going to be a lot of excitement about bow season coming up this Friday, and I think a lot of people have had time to get out and be ready and prepared, and not me, however, but so we started the high school sports, and we get, if it's a home game, you get 4 vouchers. The student, the athlete gets 4 vouchers, and if it's an away game, you get 2 vouchers. So it is great to see the kids playing, but you know, nobody out cross country last night, and there's hardly anybody there. They split the teams up in 5 or 6, so it's all different. But as far as the outdoors go, I think it was the fishing wasn't an outstanding fishing year on the lake, but I think there was a lot of hours spent on the lake. So
I heard that the camping in it, like the RV side of things this year, nationwide was up 400%. I don't know if that's true or not, but if you're looking at people making the decision to still want to get out and do something, but they have to social distance, I think that's kind of what they were looking at now, is getting out in the outdoors. Shocker, because you and I have been doing this our whole lives.
Well, it's good. It's good to see the families getting out, and hopefully we'll see some of that with hunting season this year too, where families have a little more time to get out with their kids and experience why we all live here, right? It's the great outdoors and the opportunities that we have here. So, but it's also a good time to get out and help your rancher or your farmer friend that you want to go ask hunt that first day of bird season. So
absolutely.
Let's remind everybody of that. And, the other thing that Jeb Williams had said is that, remember, if you think you're going to pick up and go bow hunting on Friday and buy a tag, you've got to order those in advance, and same with all the other tags. So it's a good time to check up on your licensing and make sure you're all up to par this weekend. So it's all part of getting ready now.
Yeah. I mean, I've been doing this for a long time. I have one backpack that has my cleaning stuff in, my knife, my Sagan saw, everything I need inside that bag. And what I do is as soon as I get my tags in the mail, I put it in a Ziploc bag and I throw it in that backpack. So I know everything is in one spot. And that's been helpful because, it always happens. Somebody somewhere, I've even heard it on when Todd Mitchell does it on his show. Somebody calls in and says, "Oh, my spouse went through my stuff and I can't find my tag. What do I do to get a replacement?" And it takes a while to send that replacement out. So just throw it in your backpack right away and be done with it.
Well, there are so many deer, Scott. I don't know what you're seeing, but the whitetail numbers in and around Bismarck, it's just absolutely unbelievable along the river. And there's a lot of deer. We are back to really good deer numbers, at least in this part of the state.
I'm not seeing as many over here as we did last year. That's a fact here on the mule deer side of things. So speaking of mule deer, as Mule Deer Foundation, are you guys having events this fall? Are we back on, or is it going to be different because of the COVID-19 thing?
Well, the Mule Deer Foundation's been doing a lot of online. I've seen a lot of opportunities, and donors have been fantastic, but it's pretty tough on the nonprofit organizations. Obviously, just about all the events have been canceled, and every month, October's a really big month for mule deer banquets, and hopefully that Marshall's been doing a few Gunapaloozas, and he's doing a few of those. So I hope that he's going to be able to have some of these banquets to some extent, because continuing to provide funding to make sure we can keep those projects going and activities going is very important. So, but across the country, it's really going to be tough on the nonprofit organizations at all levels. But in terms of the wildlife organizations, I think we're going to probably see maybe some consolidations. And I know that on the Mule Deer Foundation, we've really tightened down the hatches a little bit, but you got to get better. People are pretty good about these these online raffles, and they've been really successful. So if you have good stuff, like anywhere, the people will jump in, and you can renew your memberships online. And it's not, we're going to go away from the banquet model, I think, over the next number of years, because that's just not probably the model of the future.
Isn't that something how things are, something like this COVID has changed the concept of fundraisers from this point forward. It's going to be more and more online, and you're going to have to build that trust, because some people don't always have that trust of, well, I'm going to give you my credit card online type of thing. But it seems like the wave of the future, Ron.
Well, I think you're exactly right. And the other wave of the future is probably was on its way. What people really like in terms of events that we're finding out, and Marshall Johnson, the regional director from the Mule Deer Foundation in North Dakota, has kind of led the way on this. Is people want to pop in, they want to have a shorter experience.
Yes.
Do some auctions on some guns or some raffles. Have some funds, maybe get a piece of swag or something like that, and be on their way. And at the end of the day, you can do just as good versus a 5-6 hour event where they come in, they have a big dinner. Is just not the way the next generation really wants to partake in events. So I think we got to adjust to that and figure it out.
Well, either way, it's important to, no matter which one you support or you could put your money towards, it's kind of nice to see that. And I seen it this on Thursday driving up to Dagmar, through that a lot of farming country up there. And I seen a couple moose out in the stubble fields, which is kind of a new thing for me because we don't have those in this area very often. So you can kind of see how it's all kind of tying together with the oil industry, the farming, the ranching side of things, and also these wildlife organizations all trying to work together to try to make something so everybody can enjoy.
Well, Scott, I think we all got to step back. But in terms of the message to the tens of thousands of workers and their families and in those communities out in western North Dakota, the Bakken is an amazing resource, and these little peaks and valleys are going to happen throughout history. And this one, of course, is different than anything we've ever seen before. But at the end of the day, the Bakken is still a world-class resource. The jobs and the royalties and the revenues will be there long term. And the next great young engineer or somebody's got to figure out what the next technology is, and we'll make the Bakken great again. So
yeah,
absolutely. That's what it'll be.
Well, we got 35 seconds here. If people want questions, comments, or concerns, want to be able to get in touch with you, how do they go about that?
Ron Ness at ndOil.org. That's Ron Ness at ndOil.org, or 701-223-6380, 701-223-6380, or Google us at North Dakota Petroleum Council, Scott. We're always looking for good projects, good activities. We got all those people out there. They're all outdoorsmen, and that's what we like about your show, Scott, is that the people that work in the oil and gas industry in those communities, we love the outdoors, and that's why we want to bring them to North Dakota and make North Dakota their home and make them resident hunters rather than non-resident hunters.
Get their resident license. That way they can get an over-the-counter bow tag like I get. That's the way it goes. Hey, Ron, you have yourself a great Saturday. Enjoy, and we'll catch you. I know October 14th for sure, okay?
Okay, Scott. Get that gun ready.
Yeah, I will. Ron Ness, president of North Dakota Petroleum Council. Hey, we'll be back. More coming up on the second half. It's a little bit of an open line Saturday. Plus, I'm going to be checking in with Rick Thompson with a golf scramble coming up. And I forgot about this. I have a lot of swag to give away. I'm glad Ron mentioned this because I forgot about this. I was going through some stuff in the basement here, and I'm like, I have all this stuff I can give away on the show. Well, we might see if we can get around to that here in the second half of the program. It's all coming next as we go through the Dakota Territory here on Dakota Prairie Outdoors, Saturday edition, back after these. These are challenging times for our state, but the North Dakota oil and gas industry wants you to know they're coming back better than ever. The Bakken is still one of the best energy resources in the world and will be for generations to come. And through it all, the oil industry remains committed to developing our state's natural resources in harmony with our great outdoors and wildlife. This message is brought to you by the North Dakota Petroleum Council.
Dakota Community Bank and Trust provides ag loans for all stages of growth, from seed to harvest. Our expert agribusiness lending staff specializes in loans for livestock, equipment, vehicles, and operating. With our roots in agribusiness lending, you can be assured that our lending staff will provide you with prompt and reliable service. In other words, our egg loan officers will always keep your best interests in mind. Stop by your local Dakota Community Bank and Trust today. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
MoPro Guide Service, the best on Lake Oahe. Brent and his staff will give you the most enjoyable fishing experience, always having the latest in electronics, gear, and the most comfortable Lund boat on the water. Fish with somebody who lives in Mobridge, South Dakota, the heart of Lake Oahe. If you need a place to stay, the Mo Rest Motel has newly updated rooms with free internet, a family-owned and operated business. Go to OaheWalleyes.com. That's OAHE Walleyes.com for the best fishing experience Lake Oahe has to offer.
This fall, Piper's has all of your land and equipment needs covered. Join Piper's Auctioneers for the 15th annual Western Dakota Land Auction, October 20th through the 23rd, for 9 incredible land auctions with over 5,300 acres in Mound Trail, Dunn, Billings, Grant, Hettinger, Slope, and Perkins counties. Also, Piper's fall equipment auctions are plush with unbelievable equipment throughout the upper Midwest. Join Piper's for exceptional retirement auctions in Bowman, Steele, Hazelton, Fargo, and Gackle, North Dakota, Vergas, Minnesota, and Bison, South Dakota. Full details and online bidding is available at Pifers.com.
The North Dakota Cowboy Hall of Fame in historic Medora is open for the 2020 summer season. All safety precautions have been taken, with social distancing guidelines enforced and hand sanitizer stations in place. Come see the beautiful new displays for 2020, including the amazing bronze collection in the Hall of Honorees. Shop our wonderful gift shop with merchandise available celebrating 25 years of the North Dakota Cowboy Hall of Fame. We'd love to see you at the North Dakota Cowboy Hall of Fame in historic Medora.
Rockin' 7W has all the panels you need. Freestanding panels, windbreak panels, feeder panels, and the original protester panel. If you don't know what that is, it's a sort panel that makes sorting calves from a cow a breeze. You can do it in a fraction of time with just one person on foot or horseback. You can custom order sizes to fit your current operation, or you can start from scratch. Rockin' 7W also does trailer repair on any size trailers, mobile welding, and custom cattle hauling. Call Justin at Rockin' 7W at 701-206-1030. That's 701-206-1030. Rockin' 7W, the farmer and rancher's go-to guy. Western Frontier Insurance. Agents that understand you, your needs, and the community. Whether you're looking for coverage on your farm, ranch, home, or auto, you can trust that Western Frontier Insurance will find you a combination of price and coverage that works for you. No fancy jingles, no talking boxes or animals, just good neighbors helping to keep you covered. Western Frontier Insurance. Offices in Hazen, Washburn, and Wilton. These are challenging times for our state, but the North Dakota oil and gas industry wants you to know they're coming back better than ever. The Bakken is still one of the best energy resources in the world and will be for generations to come. And through it all, the oil industry remains committed to developing our state's natural resources in harmony with our great outdoors and wildlife. This message is brought to you by the North Dakota Petroleum Council.
Your home isn't just your biggest investment, it's where you live and where you love. Dakota Community Bank and Trust makes it easy and convenient to find the best loan program and most current rates available. Whether you were house shopping as a first-time buyer, thinking about new construction, refinancing your mortgage, or remodeling, we offer the assistance of an experienced live mortgage officer. You can find our mortgage team through bricks or clicks, in person or online, anytime at dakotacommunitybank.com. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
Didn't think that leaving would keep me this alone. This rodeo life is all I've ever known. With my life out there on that road, but don't you worry, one day I'll settle down. And when that time comes, you're still around. I hope you're still around.
Welcome back, everybody. Dakota Prairie Outdoors Saturday edition continues. KGFX in Pierre and Fort Pierce, South Dakota. KOLY in Mobridge. K-Fire 550, Bismarck Mandan. KLTC in Dickinson. KCJB in Minot. And, of course, thanks for tuning in on my YouTube channel, Dakota Prairie Outdoors Radio. Please subscribe and tell your friends to subscribe. The more I get, the more I can do from mobile areas, and it's a little bit more fun that way. Rick Thompson is with me from the North Dakota Cowboy Hall of Fame. Rick, good morning. How you doing, sir?
Good morning, Scott. How are you today?
Hey, best day of my life. Did you hear the music coming back here?
Yes, I did.
Did you recognize Benny Paulson and Jerry Lynn Wiseman there?
Well, yeah,
Of course.
I did
Yeah.
actually. Yeah.
I keep telling them, I have to make sure YouTube knows that they gave me permission to use this music every time that I do my show, because if I don't, they flag me and they send the YouTube police after me each and every time I do that.
Oh, yeah. You don't want that happening.
Wow, it's not like I'm a big enough radio host to afford all the copyright infringement fees and what have you. So, not a problem.
Right.
Yeah. Hey, how's things at the Cowboy Hall of Fame, Medora, North Dakota? You guys opened up for COVID, or what's going on?
Oh, yeah. We've been open and it is going well. But the little town of Medora is doing well all summer long. It's been a good deal. Yeah.
Has there been crowds coming through, or has it been pretty sparse? Are people scared, or do they want to get out of here?
Oh no, they're coming from a lot of places, and I think probably just kind of get away from, where they are. But yeah, we've had, I'd say we've had a real strong showing all, since the middle of, or maybe the third week in June. It's been just a great crowd every weekend, and now throughout the week. It's slowing down a little bit now.
Well, it's getting closer and closer to that fall time. I suppose schools started up for most people, but it seems that's kind of, I don't know. Everything's kind of up in the air this fall when it comes to school, isn't it? I mean, some of them are going into school, some are every other day, some are I don't even know what's going on here.
It's kind of weird when you have to ask if you're going to school this year or not.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll find out who's going to be a fan of homeschooling here, that's for sure. But the nice thing about it is, though, I mean, today's technology allows for a person to be able to get those assignments. Hopefully the school is set up to do that. So whether it's on an iPad or your computer or what have you. But hey, I texted you this morning, gave you short notice, said I forgot about getting you on and talking about the golf scramble at the Cowboy Hall of Fame. But before we get going, I want to ask you a question here. When it comes to this year's rodeos, and I say this because the Slope County Fair this weekend and the final qualifier for the NDRA rodeo is Sunday. Before they do the finals, it's going to be hosted in Watford City. They said they are going to have the finals for the NDRA this year. So, but when it comes across South Dakota, Montana, and North Dakota rodeos, they have been having what Mobridge usually had like 400 contestants. This year it was like 900 plus. Baker, the Fallon County Fair, usually had 300-400. They were up over 1,000 contestants. All this COVID done in the southern states, they've been, scaredy pants down there. So they've been canceling all the rodeos. But up in the northern plains, we've been seeing a lot of those, that influx of those competitors coming up here, including some of the top headlining guys, that you see at the NFR. And are we going to see this in Amadon tomorrow? What do you think?
We might not see it all of them in Amadon.
Let's come on. I mean, if you're going to be there, everybody's going to want to be there.
Yeah. Well, it's rodeo's been weird too all year, and of course those guys just going to whatever they can get to, because we're at about a fourth of the rodeos that they normally go to in the summertime, and it seems like most of them up north. So yeah they have been traveling, and who knows, maybe they will be at the Slope County Fair. I mean, who wouldn't be?
I don't know why you wouldn't. It's the longest continuous running fair in the nation.
Yeah.
Never taken a year off, buddy. Not even during the Depression.
Yeah, exactly. 100 years. That's you got some history in Slope County, big time.
We do.
Yeah,
is. It could be 101 years if you do the math.
Yeah, it could. Well, if you know how to count, yeah.
Yeah. They're gonna yell at me when I get there today, setting up sound for the open barrel race right now. Hey, Calcutta tonight. Calcutta tonight is at 8:00 this evening. We're doing the Calcutta for the events on Sunday. So hopefully, I know you got stuff going on tonight, but hopefully tomorrow you'll be able to see some of those guys. Wendy, she always buys the top guys and makes out so much money in the Calcutta all the time.
Oh, she does.
Yeah.
Well, I wish I could be there for the Calcutta tonight. Not that I could afford to buy anybody, but I would love to be there.
I guarantee. I'm auctioning it, so I guarantee you'd be able to buy one.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So golf
Well,
scramble. Let's get to this. North Dakota Cowboy Hall of Fame. I
Okay.
want to bring this up because I've been doing this golf scramble with you since you guys started it. I have a great time at it, and I say everybody says, "Why is it on Thursday, September?" Always on a Thursday. I said because it takes me 4 days to recuperate from that one day, so I
Right.
can get going on Monday again. But tell us a little bit about this. How many years have we been doing this now?
I think it's 7 that I've done it, and and it is, it might have gone a couple of years before that,
Okay.
but sporadic. So, but it's been, it's been a fun time. And one thing about it, as you know, it's a fun day.
Yep.
And we get a lot of things crammed into that one day.
Yes.
So,
I mean, games on each tee box, that way it spreads out the golfing a little bit. You have card games, you got Marshmallow Longest Drive and chipping into a Crystal X barrel and all that kind of games, plus many more. But are you guys filled up, or is there still rooms of people listening here on Dakota Prairie Outdoors say, you know what, I want to come out there for a good golf scramble. Let's go do this.
we are full, but I would urge
Yes.
I would urge anybody that is, if I've had a lot of people that called me and tell me they're coming. I just don't have teams from them yet.
Okay.
We have 2 days. 2 days is our deadline, but officially, I have 36 teams right now. But that doesn't mean that there couldn't be one that can't make it last minute or whatever.
Absolutely.
So I would, I'd urge you if you're one of those that haven't got in yet, or called me or sent your information in, get it into me because I don't want you to miss it.
Yeah.
Just in case we can.
Well, and like you said too, some people they want to sign up and maybe they just didn't send in their registration form, but they called you and let you know, and then they forget about it. So, and even if we have 38, we can still fit an extra couple on there. I mean, I know we're short of golf carts a little bit once in a while, but still, we could make it work, couldn't we? I mean, you could. I would be willing to give up my cart and just drive on the beer cart and use the beer cart as my cart. I'll donate that out of the goodness of my heart.
There you go. Yeah, there you go. You and Jesse got the beer cart. Okay.
He texts me. He says, "Is it a full course or COVID full?" It's 36 teams is a full course. That's for sure.
Yeah, it is. It is. It is, and it's going to be fun. And you're right. I am working on some things, but there's lots of different scenarios that we can work out if we get a 38, 40 teams, whatever. I'll work as hard as I can to make that happen, but I'm not positive how things are gonna work. So it's a nice problem to have, I guess you could say.
Well, I don't know if we fill up every year, but I think having 36 teams is a pretty good deal.
Yeah, it is. We normally have anywhere 32 to 36 in the 35, I think, is the most we've ever had. But we've done that for a purpose too, and that's because of those golf carts. So
yeah, they only have so many.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, if people want to get in touch with you here, we do this Thursday, September 10th. And my favorite part of the whole thing, and I'm glad that you continue to let me do this, and Bully Pulpit continues to let me do this, is it's a shotgun start at 11 a.m. And this is probably one of the only golf tournaments that we actually have a shotgun start.
Exactly. It's my favorite part of it too.
Yeah.
It's great. I don't get to be there officially when you do that.
Oh no.
But I certainly know that you do it.
Yeah. Well, not everybody can hear the shotgun from where we're at, but it's still a good time. And I don't know if you have Miss Rodeo North Dakota or South Dakota. Like that one year we had both North Dakota and South Dakota. Melinda Slayton, I believe it was, and Cody Miller. They both took a shot with the shotgun. That was a good time too.
Oh, that was a fun one, and people, they love that. Yeah, it's great, and you're right. It's the only one I ever go to that they actually use a shotgun to shotgun start it.
And it's the only time I can actually have something in my golf bag that I know how to use is my shotgun.
Yeah.
'cause the rest of the clubs don't do well. I'd be better off throwing a golf ball up in there and shooting it and trying to drive that down the range than anything else here.
Well, well, you guys do pretty good. You've got your name on the old trustee trophy.
The district, yeah, we won that one the first year, I guess, but
Mm-hmm.
that's the tough one there. But if sponsor wise, you could still sponsor, couldn't you? I mean, even if you can't get in, I mean, hey, support the cowboy way of life. I got to tell you this right now. You know, and all the brandings, some of the brandings this spring were canceled, and it's tough because either they were canceled or rescheduled, and you know how it is in branding season. If I want to go on a certain day and somebody they canceled and they reschedule, well, that takes my help away, maybe a few here, and it takes me away from theirs or what have you. But the one thing I've noticed is how everybody got together this spring, no matter what it was. If somebody was worried about the coronavirus thing, they kept their distance from those people that didn't. But what stuck out in my head more than anything else is the kids. Now, these kids, they learn a lot of things when it comes to the cowboy way of life. You know, and the farming and ranching egg sector of North and South Dakota is one of the most important businesses that we have in the two states. And isn't it just fun when you get together and, you know, especially what you guys put together at the Cowboy Hall of Fame in Medora? If you walk through, you don't just have, you know, some people think the Hall of Fame, you're going to see, you know, like the Charlie Bams of the old country and pictures of those guys. But you have even all the way up to the young kids in the high school and junior high rodeo in there, which is kind of cool. And it's fun to see the discipline and the just the way the kids act differently when it comes from that side of the growing up that way, isn't it?
It really is. And you know, you really do need to have something for everybody because you know, you want to make sure the younger people can get a grasp of what we're trying to do at an early age. Some people don't think that, you know, those kids, if you will, understand what we're doing, but they certainly do, and that's where we start. You know, that's where you have to start.
Well, you got to start them somewhere, and you know, when you're the best one is to put them in and run the cut gate in a sort pen. I guarantee that they'll learn a lot of language they've never heard before.
Yes, sir.
Hey, I reminded Darren Mund reminded me. He said his favorite part of the golf tournament is the putting contest. Rossi 357 mag lever action rifle is what I'm bringing up this year. Jesse and myself. So I can let's see here. I got a picture of it. You can't see it. You're not on YouTube here, but I'm
not.
Put it on the YouTube here. I'll show it up there. You know, it's a nice little lever action. It's got the logo engraved into the buttstock in there for your 25th. And I tell you what, it's a nice rifle. Hopefully, I'd like to win it back this year because I want to use that for my deer license this year.
You know, you guys have done that every year, and I would say that and I would agree with Darren that most people enjoy that. You know, they look forward to that, but why not? You know, you get a chance, and it's not an easy putt, is it? And
well, the first one is because you know the qualifying putt is usually about a 5-foot putt. Although I have seen people miss that one too.
Yeah, I've done it. but it is fun.
Yeah, the 50-foot putt's a little harder.
Yeah, it is. It is, and we always have somebody though that puts it in the cup and wins that rifle. And you guys have done that for 7 years, and that's not an easy thing. So I thank you and Jesse Flats for you know, always stepping to the plate for that. I never even have to ask you guys. I do ask about what your gun is going to be this year, and you guys sometimes have haven't decided at the point, but you always have a very nice gun, and people, you know, they love going for it. So
Jesse says it's as exciting and well attended as the Bronc Match ride at the Slope County Fair.
I don't know about that, but it's pretty good.
That's a good time. So if people want to, if they want to try to get in or maybe be a whole sponsor or something, how do they get in touch with you, Rick?
Give me a call, 290-6839, or you know, you can give us a call at the hall, and that's 623-2000. So give us a holler.
Yeah. You know, I was going to pull up some of the Slope County Fair item of events here, and here it is. So I'm going to run through this with you today because I know you're going to be there tomorrow. You're going to be setting up. If people want some tickets for, what are you doing tickets for again?
Our annual raffle.
There you go.
We're coming down to the end of the season for that.
So coming up today at Slope County Fair, it's the Horseshoe Tournament at 11 o'clock in the morning. And the most important thing about the Slope County Fair, the beer gardens open up at noon. This is all mountain time. We got some new stuff this year. We have pony pull expeditions at 12 noon. Then we have the open 4D barrel race, which is always well attended. I think Shasta said like 110 ladies entered that this year. Cornhole tournament at 1 o'clock. Let's see here. Can't quite make out what that says here. Oh, the rib cook-off and supper sponsored by Dakota Western Bank. That's coming up at 6 o'clock tonight. The Rodeo Calcutta at 8. And if you want to get in on the Bikini Barrel Race Calcutta, that is probably about 4:30 this afternoon. And then Thunder Road plays tonight. And then on Sunday, of course, the Rodeo Slack starts at 9 o'clock, which we have a lot more pony pulls. We have the NDRA Slope Summer Circuit. We're going to have that at 1:30 in the afternoon. Kids games and all that kind of stuff, free stage and drawings and all that good stuff. But guess what else is coming, Rick? Guess who's bringing the racing pigs? Daryl Lease. Daryl's Racing Pigs. First time showing up to the Slope County Fair is going to be going on over at the we already did our 4-H sale. They wanted to do the 4-H thing separate this year, so we already got that done. So then what's going to be happening in that arena? It's going to be Daryl's Racing Pigs. So there you go.
You know that Daryl's everywhere.
He is, and get this. We can bet. We're making $100 bets on pigs this year. You're in.
Really?
You're in.
Legally. You're doing
I
that.
never said legally. I said we're doing it.
Well,
pull this legal stuff,
Okay. All right. Yeah. Well, what am I thinking?
It's Slope County. Come on now.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly right. You're right.
I have to pull the legality side of things out on me all of a sudden here. I tell you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just,
Daryl,
that just surprised me that it might be legally.
Daryl just texted me and he says, I know nothing about what you guys just said.
Oh, good.
Oh, well, good stuff. Well, Rick, I appreciate you coming on here this morning. I, short notice and everything, but I was going through my list of things to announce this morning. I came across that, and I remember that the good times we have at the Golf Scramble. And get this year, guess what Jesse's going to do after the Golf Scramble this year?
Oh boy, that would be quite a guess right there, because it could be anything.
He's going to go to work. He's coming down to help me haul hay.
Yeah. Now that I would have never guessed.
Absolutely. So that's going to be a nice thing there. So as soon as we win and collect all of our money, then we're going to go haul hay the next few days. So how's that sound?
That sounds good. That sounds good.
All right, man. Well, you have yourself a good weekend. Rick, thanks for taking time with me this morning, and we'll catch you tomorrow at the Slope County Fair's NDRA and Slope Circuit Rodeo.
Can't wait to get there, because that's the highlight of everybody's life right there every end of August.
Yeah, absolutely. If you're done with your harvesting, there's only one place to be. Even if you're not, just shut the combine down and get in.
Exactly. Exactly. And
all right. Well,
hey, Scott, thank you.
You bet.
Thank you. I appreciate everything you do.
All right. Thanks a lot, Rick. Rick Thompson, North Dakota Cowboy Hall of Fame. Thank you, sir. Hey, that's it for another Dakota Prairie Outdoors Saturday. Next Saturday, if you're on YouTube and you see behind me, there's a box of swag I came across. I know I was going to give some of that out today. Didn't have time. Next weekend, it's giveaway weekend. How I'm going to do it, I'm not sure yet. We'll figure that out here. But I got a lot of stuff to give away, including some pretty expensive stuff, too. And some pretty cool T-shirts I made up. Have yourself a good one. I'm Scott Bachmeyer. Check it out, DakotaPrairieOutdoors.com. Have a good weekend. See you at the fair. All right, stations, thank you so much. You guys have yourself a good weekend. Rick, thank you again for, he hung up on me. Okay, that's fine. Hey, I'll, stations, we'll catch you next Saturday again. More giveaways if you want to promote that. Thank you. YouTube, same thing. I'm going to have all kinds of good stuff given away, and some of it can possibly only be won on YouTube because I might not be able to say. I know some of my T-shirts may have some questionable language on them, but I haven't been through them for a couple years, so we'll see that. Catch you next week, everybody. See ya.